Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're talking about minimalist living and how it relates to slow travel for those living in early retirement or as digital nomads. We have talked to so many travelers and they've told us how they just want to live with less stuff, how they want to downsize the amount of luggage they travel with. And we've also talked to people who have retired or are thinking about retirement that just want less stuff in their lives in general. How they want smaller homes with a less cluttered life so that they can travel more. But we've also talked with people who don't think that they can live with less stuff. I know it takes some work, but in my opinion, it's worth it to push yourself and try and live on less. Chris and I are not textbook minimalists, or minimalists at all, depending on your definition. We like our stuff and we like to be comfortable, but we don't want our possessions to control our lives. We find that having less stuff makes our lives easier and less stressful. These are some of the benefits that we found. The minimalism lifestyle is all about living with less so you can focus on what's truly important in life. But how can the benefits from that lifestyle help us as early retirement slow travelers and digital nomads? We'll list some of our reasons here, but please let us know your thoughts in the comments. Our first benefit is light packing. Minimalism encourages you to travel with only the essentials, making it easier to move around and reducing the stress of managing multiple bags. Chris and I travel with just our backpacks. We used to travel with a lot more stuff, and it took us a few years to figure out what we really needed to pack. But now that we've figured it out, it is so great. We're so much more agile and we're able to travel so much more easily. It is so nice to be able to get on a long-distance bus or train and not wonder where we're going to put all our bags. And it's so much less stressful and time-consuming to pack for our adventures.
Even though I'm packing light, I still like to bring a few tools with me. Em says she likes to pack light, but she'd be pretty disappointed if I wasn't able to fix things that broke while we were traveling. I bring a couple of different sewing kits. This one's heavy duty and this one's just a regular one. I bring glasses repair kits, duct tape, super glue, some double-sided tape, binder clips, Allen keys for our equipment, tire repair kit, and I always bring an extension cord.
Benefit number 2, financial independence and cost savings. By focusing on experiences rather than possessions, we're not spending tons of money on stuff. It reduces our unnecessary expenses and makes it easier to live a financially independent lifestyle. As you probably know, Chris and I keep a pretty minimal home base and we don't travel with a lot of possessions. And because of this, we have a lot of cost savings and it makes early retirement for us possible.
It also forces me to think creatively. Instead of buying things every time I need something, I look around the house and figure out something that I already have and use that instead. For example, with my backpack, it has these MOLLE straps and I wanted to add some more pouches so I could carry some more stuff with it. So I modified some pouches I got from thrift stores to have the MOLLE on the back and they can attach to the side of my bag.
Because we have more savings, we're also able to make last-minute decisions that allow us to go on treks into the Amazon jungle or taking a last-minute flight to the Dominican Republic. Which brings me to point number 3, flexibility. Traveling light and living minimally allows us more flexibility in our travel plans. When I used to pack more heavily, I used to think that I needed really specific clothing for really specific activities, which prevented me from saying yes to certain things if I didn't think I had the right stuff. But now we pack in a much more versatile way, and I can be much more agile and say yes to activities even if I hadn't planned them in advance. Like on our last trip to Argentina, we had no plans to go into the northern part of the country to hike in really hot and arid conditions. But when we heard about how beautiful it was up there, we decided to go at the last minute. Because we travel with versatile clothing, we were able to be agile and go hiking in the hot desert with the stuff we had packed in our carry-on bags and without planning it out months in advance. On to point number 4, focusing on what matters. Minimalism helps us prioritize what truly matters in life, like our health, spending time with our family and friends, and working on projects that really matter to us. We don't have to worry about managing all of our possessions or maintaining this really big house that we have to rush back to after all of our trips. Like next week, we're going to see our families in Ontario, and we don't even have our return tickets booked because we don't know how long we're going to want to stay with them. Number 5, reduce stress. A clutter-free environment can lead to lower stress levels and a more peaceful retirement. I used to get so stressed trying to fit all of our stuff into our luggage when we were packing for a trip. We would eventually kind of Tetris fit everything together, but then we would have to go through it all over again when we had to repack to go to our next destination. And things would get even worse if we started to buy souvenirs and other things that we saw in our travels. Now we try not to buy too much stuff, maybe just a couple of bracelets or other jewelry that I can wear on me, or Chris might buy a t-shirt to replace one of his existing t-shirts that was wearing out. But other than that, we keep our souvenirs to our minimum, and packing has become so much easier. On to number 6, more time for our passions. Because we don't have a big house and lots of possessions to manage, we can drop everything at a moment's notice to go travel. Chris and I are emergency management responders, and sometimes we get a call to go help people who have been evacuated from wildfires at a moment's notice. And because we don't have to worry about anything in our home and we can just go and travel, we can say yes and get out there as quickly as possible.
One of my passions is gaming, so I bought a computer that travels well but is still pretty powerful. This isn't specifically a gaming computer, but it does have a good video card and it's good for editing videos as well.
In my opinion, combining minimalist living with early retirement slow travel or digital nomad work creates a lifestyle that is so liberating. If you're thinking about cutting down your stuff, but it feels too overwhelming, it's worth it to take the time to figure it out. And that's all we have for you for today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with a friend that might benefit from it as well. If you're interested in how we pack with just carry-on only, check out this video here. We'll see you in the next one.